If you do, it's ready. Okay, is it on
Good morning, everybody.
Is it on mute? Hello.
Yay. We're not on the radio yet, but we're Facebook Live.
Okay.
And we're figuring out Facebook on multiple phones. Got technology working for
Okay.
us today. All right. Oh, hey, look at that. We are on so many phones. It's out of control. It's awesome. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 425 Show, your place to be for all things real estate and lifestyle related here on the East Side. I love doing this show every week. Last week was a full circle moment for me in that, the whole purpose of the show is that when you buy and sell a house, it's about more than bedrooms and baths. And so each week we highlight a business or an event or a person so that you can get to know what they're all about and experience new things with living on the East Side. Last week, we had Wendy Tyner on for the Wintergrass Festival. It was their 26th year of doing it in Bellevue.
Awesome.
I never even knew it existed. So I went on Saturday with my son Alex. We had the best time listening to music, and it was great. I totally loved it.
Did you pick up a banjo while you were there?
I did not.
Oh.
I eyed them though. They look kind of cool.
See?
You hadn't realized that they came here every
I
year?
never knew
Yeah.
that. She said it's the last weekend of February every year. We will go next year because my
Awesome.
husband's super into music.
Yes.
So we'll go check it out again. So anyway, I feel like I was my own client last week because I did a show on something
Nice.
new and went and checked it out. And anyway, each week at the beginning of the show, I do a little real estate update. This week, it's just kind of looping you in. It's interesting, right? I brought 2 listings on the market last week.
Nice.
We had one of them sell in 2 days. Interesting, again, a 10% down buyer. And I've talked about this before, this makes me happy, right? To see a 10% buyer fully approved. I love it, but these are the buyers that have struggled to be competitive in the market.
Yes.
And now they're having success. We were thrilled to take their offer. My client's excited. This buyer is doing well. And we're still getting a really good activity on the other property. I'm seeing a lot of listings sell in short periods of time with inspection contingencies as well. Yeah, which is nice because that brings that back a little bit of, leverage for buyers, or just gives them the opportunity to go through this process a little bit differently than they have been before. And I think that alone will bring more buyers back into the market when they feel like, they're a little bit more in control of the process. So I think good news for both buyers and sellers. Things are selling, they're selling quickly, but buyers are not having to compete quite as much, and they're able to get some of those contingencies back in the contract, which is nice.
Awesome.
Yes. And with that, I'd love to introduce today's guest, April Adams.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Yay! If you're watching the Facebook Live, you can see April's love button. We realize it's backwards.
Yes, it's backwards, but
on the video. But it says love, and she's the one that introduced me to the Love Ball, which was in the show 2 episodes ago. So there you go.
yes,
Thank
and I
you.
was introduced to the Love Ball by another amazing colleague in Tacoma,
There you go.
Heidi Hurst, and it's just a great way to spread love. And love
Exactly.
is like limitless.
It
truly
is.
is limitless. You can just spread it in so many different ways. So
Yeah.
I
they're
love
just-
that you have the Love Ball.
I
as
know.
well.
I have multiples because I have
saw.
them in my listings now. So if you go through my listing pictures, you can see.
You're kidding. That is
No,
genius.
I have different
love it.
colors and different sizes.
Yes.
We'll have the link on the website after the show, NicoleMangina.com/podcast. If you would like to spread the love as well. It's just a fun thing to do.
Yeah,
And
it's
if you have real
completely
estate questions, you can always email me, Nicole@NicoleMangina.com. I invite you to reach out, and we'll look forward to connecting. So April, welcome. April is a real estate agent in Moses Lake.
Yes.
So I thought it'd be great to talk about real estate life on the east side of the mountains because, right about now we all like to head over there and get
Yes.
some sun.
Yes.
April's also I don't know why I call her Rachel.
It's so odd. People call me Rachel.
Do they?
They do.
That's funny.
It just kind of has that same cadence.
Yeah.
The same syllables.
Yeah. Mine's Michelle. If anybody ever calls me by the wrong name, it's always
Yes.
Michelle.
I will answer to both,
Yeah,
especially
exactly.
if you're buying or selling.
Yep. I'll be whoever I want to be.
Exactly.
Rachel, April, it's all good. April lives in Moses Lake. She sells real estate over there and has also made a couple TV appearances.
Oh, yes.
So there's lots to April today. We're going to find out about all of it. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, me too.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. So let's see. You've been selling real estate for a while now.
For about 15 years.
Yes, and
Yeah.
over Moses Lake for the last 4 or 5
Yep,
years?
4 or 5 years. We migrated to Moses Lake when our daughter graduated from high school, and then went off to college. We were empty nesters, and we wanted a change of pace. And
Yes.
we had, some property in Moses Lake, and we thought, okay, it's the time to go.
Yes.
Let's give it a try, and we don't regret it one bit. It's just an enjoyable pace. The weather is outstanding.
Yes.
I mean, it took about a year to dry out from the rain, but I just look forward to every spring and summer. We have a lot of sun.
Yes.
We have a lot of sun.
I
so
know. That's east of the mountains. You guys get more sun than we do.
We do. And, we still come back to Tacoma area every once in a while. It only takes, well, with traffic, it takes a little bit longer, but generally it takes about 3 hours. So door to
Right.
door from, I-90
It's not bad.
to Tacoma or the Bellevue area. So it's not bad
No.
at all.
Yeah, Kirkland to Tacoma can be a 2-hour drive depending on the day.
Really? Yes.
So,
So I do not miss the traffic
yes.
and the rain, although I do miss, the trees
Mm-hmm.
and the greenery.
Yes.
The traffic, I don't miss.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Yes.
And my husband and I talk about that a lot, right? We live in Kirkland. I love, love, love Kirkland. There's
Yeah.
nowhere else I'd want to live here on the east side. And we're tied into it now, right? We've got our kids, they're in
Yes.
school, they play their sports. We genuinely love living here, but we can definitely see that there might be a point in our lives where maybe some of the traffic becomes optional, and to live somewhere where it was a little slower pace.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're looking forward to that phase of life. It's several years away from it for us, but yeah, I think that's going to be nice.
And you adapt to it, even though you have to endure traffic.
Mhm.
It's all good. I mean,
Right.
it's your life. Your kids are in
Sure.
school. It's where you live, and you love it.
We
so.
do. It's perfect. It's
Yeah.
perfect for right now, but you notice there's different phases of
Yeah.
life, and we love the phase we're in, but
Yeah.
there will come a time when there's a different phase.
Yes. And your kiddos are how old?
Our youngest turned 12 today.
Oh my
His
goodness!
birthday.
He's a preteen.
He is. So we have a 12 and a 14-year-old.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 2 boys.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, it goes so quickly.
It
I mean,
does. Yeah.
Your oldest is going to be driving very soon.
Yes. Well, yeah. Actually, yeah, I guess so. He turns 15 at the end of August, and I guess you start driving then. So pretty soon. Well, let's chat about the market in Moses Lake.
Yes.
What's
The
it like?
Moses Lake Market. I tell you, in the past couple years, since probably 2015 or 16, it just has really come up. I think, well, the whole state
Right.
has also experienced this same just kind of increase in appreciation.
Right.
Buyers are more excited about getting into homes. There are so many different loans. So the Moses Lake market is actually a very thriving market.
Right.
We suffer with similar issues, which is supply.
Okay.
We don't have, as much as supply as we want
Interesting.
or need. I think we have like 3 or 4 months inventory, which in our world that probably sounds, that just means that it's definitely a seller's market. So there's
Right.
more buyers than there are sellers. So
Exactly.
it
Here,
makes for a
I'll
hotter
do a
market.
quick translation for
Mhm.
people. So, and as agents, we talk about months of inventory, and what that means is, you take the average number of sales every month, and then you divide it by the number of active listings, and that's how we do. So, if there are 15 active listings, 5 listings properties sell every month. 15 divided by 5, 3 months of active inventory, because that's how long it would take to sell through all of those properties.
Yes.
3 months or less is considered a seller's market. 4 to 6 months of inventory is considered a balanced market. Anything over 6 months is considered a buyer's market. So there's your little inside scoop
Yes.
on real estate. Now you know the jargon.
Now in Moses Lake, our average sale price is about $215,000, so it's extremely affordable.
Right.
Yours is slightly different,
Right.
Just slightly.
A little bit.
But that's kind of Moses Lake's sweet spot. And
Uh-huh.
you do get a decent house. You
Yeah.
know? It's just affordable to live in Moses Lake. Like, I believe that you could get twice the house, nearly
I'm
twice
sure.
the house that you could in Moses Lake than somewhere on, the
Yeah.
rest of the mountains.
What are the main economic drivers in Moses Lake?
You know, we just have a really robust aerospace industry. So
Got it.
we have Grant County
Right.
has two major airports. There's one in Ephrata, there's one in Moses Lake.
Right.
And in the 30s, 40s, they used to be Air Force bases.
Got it.
But those are no longer, so now they are airports. And you know, a lot of big companies like Boeing uses our facilities for training
Got it.
and testing planes and things like that.
Oh, God.
So aerospace is a big one.
Okay.
And there's also other, you know, companies aside from Boeing, Aerotech and Sonico, other
Yeah.
aerospace related companies. So that's one of the biggest ones. And then there's ag
Agriculture.
producers.
Yeah,
Yes.
farming.
Yeah, so farming is huge in
Right.
Moses Lake or Grant County.
Yeah.
We have 1,800 farms, and they produce, I think it's $2 billion in
Oh, my goodness.
you know, apples, corns, potato,
Yeah. Grapes, wine grapes.
grapes. Yes.
April and her husband, that was a leading question, by the way.
Wonderful. Okay.
April and her husband have a vineyard.
We do.
You have a 3-acre vineyard, and you make some really amazing wine. I'm going to hold it up for all of our Facebook Live people. Dun,
Now,
dun, Beaumont
just
Cellars.
a clarification. Now, the grapes are our grapes inside, and Beaumont has made the wine.
Okay.
So we're the growers. We like to refer to ourselves as growers.
Okay.
Grape growers.
Grape growers. I think that's a good title to have. So
Yes.
if you want to try some of their
Yes.
grapes,
Yeah.
again, we'll put all this on the website after the show, NicoleMangina.com/podcast. Beaumont Cellars Cab Franc. It's a red. That's
Yes.
one of my favorite flavors.
So Cab Franc grapes, we have two types of grapes, Cab Franc and also Chardonnay. So we just
Okay.
have a little micro vineyard.
Yeah.
It's 3 acres.
I love it.
Tim, my husband, planted it with most of his own hands. I will
Oh my
say
goodness.
there's like 2,000 posts, and he, along with some other guys, had
Right.
dug those posts by hand. And so,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. So he planted the vineyard. We thought it would be super cool, and it is. We've forged a lot of amazing relationships,
Oh, I bet.
and it's a fun culture. It is a lot of work.
I bet.
So I don't do much of the work any longer. I used to prune and helped him do all of that stuff, but now he just does it on his own while I
Sell
I have a
houses?
full-time job.
You kind of do.
So, but it is nice to be out there in the vineyard, even if it's for a couple hours when we're pruning or harvesting. Yeah, there's something definitely majestic about having a vineyard, or just growing something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So we actually sell to 2 wineries. So Beaumont, which they're out of Quincy, and I think
Okay.
they have a tasting room here in
Woodinville, probably.
Woodinville, yes. And then also there is this awesome Moses Lake winery called Camas Cove, and so
Oh,
we give
fun.
them some of our grapes as well,
Okay.
and they've also bottled our grapes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's
That's awesome.
really fun.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. If you're just tuning in today, we've got April Adams on the show with us. We're talking about all things Moses Lake, wine, real estate.
Yes.
April's your girl. We'll make sure we have links to her and all of her stuff on the website after the show. Cool. Well, what else do we need to know about Moses Lake?
Well, what else do you need to know?
We go take a day trip over there. What
Yeah.
are some of your favorite spots?
Well, I am encouraged just every year when new businesses come to Moses Lake, and we've got, some really great restaurants. It takes a lot to start a business and then also keep it going.
Right.
And just like with any town, big or small, that sometimes can be a challenge. But
Right.
those that are there, we've got some great restaurants. We've got just a company there called Michael's. They're natives to Moses Lake. They've got
Right.
3 amazing restaurants. So
Oh, good.
there's definitely great food in Moses Lake. And, I would say get some great retail in. We have this
Yeah.
downtown core that is really just doing a lot of things in the community and just really bringing people to the downtown
Yeah.
area. This weekend we had Brews and Tunes.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it was great. So every year, they have the Wine Walk or Brews and Tunes or things like that, just to really promote the downtown core.
Sure.
And they do a great job at doing that.
Okay.
So this weekend we had Brews and Tunes, and we've got some great music in town, a lot
Okay.
of local bands.
Great.
One of my favorite bands is, Tim and my favorite band is Free Beer Nuts. And they are just
How could you not like a band with a name like that?
I know. They're just awesome people, and they just have an awesome band. But they're, rock and roll cover band, and it's just some really good Irish
Oh,
rock.
that's great.
Yeah, so they definitely have you, out of your seat dancing.
Yeah.
If you have the courage to dance, which I don't always have the courage to dance.
You got to get your beard
if
music
I
ratio
can
just
bob my
right.
head and bob my bob my toes.
Yeah.
But so food, shopping, if there's good music in town, that's always something to catch.
Great.
During the spring and summertime, when the lake is nice and blue, and there's a lot of water in the lake, they irrigate the lake.
Sure.
So the lake comes up in this, I would say, sometime in the spring, but by the summertime, just great water sports.
Yes.
Boating, fishing. People come to Moses Lake from far and wide to hunt and fish.
Right.
And all times of year, not just the summer, but we've just got a lot of great fun stuff surrounding
Yeah.
the lake.
So really great outdoor community, it
Mhm.
sounds like, and a really solid sense of community with the downtown and everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And we've got about 40,000 people, more or
Yeah,
less. That's
which
our
is
population.
Great, because that
Mhm.
gives you critical mass then for a lot of this stuff
Exactly.
to stick
That's the
around and be
perfect
sustainable.
word. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have that critical mass. We have that momentum.
Right.
And I just think that it just is in the making for a great community.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the real estate side, obviously you've got people just buying and selling their own personal properties.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of investment properties over there, second homes? What are those markets like over there?
So there's a lot of organic growth. So that's meaning, new buyers are coming into the market. They live there, they work there. And then those sellers that are leveling up, they're selling their home
Sure.
and buying another home in Moses Lake. So there's that organic growth.
Right.
But then we have a lot of people coming to Moses Lake who are retiring, they're taking jobs in Moses Lake. I mean,
Sure.
with our aerospace industry and then also ag and healthcare, there are some good jobs
I would
out
think,
there.
yeah, some solid
Yeah.
jobs with some decent paychecks and
Yes.
slower pace, lower cost of living.
Yes.
Could be kind of a perfect match for a lot of people.
It really is. So those, we're getting those types of people moving to Moses Lake.
Sure.
And the cost of living is so much palatable in Moses Lake, especially with housing. I think
Right.
that's the biggest thing. Power, utilities, and retail, almost the same,
Right.
more or less. But the housing and cost of living when it comes to utilities is just so much lower.
Right.
Yeah, so we're getting, again, retirees, people moving for jobs. We have that organic growth. And a lot of people that I talk to that are coming from out of the area, I'll ask them, why Moses Lake? And, I think that we're on this short list of people wanting to retire. So,
Sure.
and we're happy to be on that short list. So it's Spokane, Tri-Cities, Moses Lake.
Right.
It's, still affordable. We've got decent health care. So they choose Moses Lake, I think, because of the housing affordability
Right.
and the cost of living in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell me that they're just tired of traffic and
Right.
they just want to slow down. So they're choosing Moses Lake for that reason. And
Right.
interestingly enough, there is this, I don't know if you saw this article, you might have, Nicole. So Smart Asset did this article about how long $1 million would last
Oh,
in
no.
retirement.
Interesting. Okay.
So in Washington State, we were Moses Lake was number 3 in
In
this
terms
list.
of how long it would last.
Yes, so I think Tri-Cities was number 1,
Okay.
and Yakima maybe was number 2. But
Okay.
basically, it would take you, hopefully I'm interpreting this right, 24 years for $1 million to last.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
So
That's
That's
awesome. I'll have
interesting
to,
to wrap my head around. Actually.
Right.
First, wanted to have $1 million, but then secondly, you know, how to make that last. And so they're
Right.
saying based on cost of living,
Yes. Interesting.
and spending,
Okay.
that it would be 24 years, which is third in
Yes.
the state.
Oh,
of
we'll have to go
Washington.
look that up. I'm very curious as
Yes,
to where
I'll
the East
send
Side
you-
cities rank.
Yeah.
I think they're a little less. Single digits. You get 2 years, and then you have to go back
I
to
know,
work.
exactly. You get a,
Okay.
that's called a sabbatical.
Right. Okay. So you can live on the East Side and work till you're 90, or you can go to Moses Lake and retire at 30. That's however you want to play it. Maybe not quite like
yeah,
that.
no. Yes. So
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
But-
I love those studies. I think they're
I
fascinating.
know. You know,
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. But
I thought that was interesting.
yeah, I do think there's
So-
something to that, though, for
Yeah.
sure.
So a lot of people migrating to Moses Lake, which is exciting, fun.
Yeah.
When you're in the real estate market and when you're ushering these people around, you know, it's just exciting to be part of that.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have kind of seasons in your market over there? It's interesting. Like I know here we're really busy right now,
Yeah.
right?
Same.
Are you seeing the same?
Yes. I mean, you know, and you experienced this the same last year, like when there was that lull.
Yes.
That scary lull.
Kind of the fourth
Yes.
quarter of let's see how this whole thing shakes out.
Yes. And so we
Yes.
experienced that. I remember I put a listing on in July and I was like, okay, we're going to sell this. It's not going to take that long.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, you know, with, you know, what was happening in the Seattle market, because
Right.
we are affected in some ways by what's going on in the
Oh, I'm
Seattle
sure.
market.
Yeah.
Many of those people that are selling their homes
Mm-hmm.
are moving this way.
Right.
Or getting second homes. And so obviously if they're not doing that, then that has an impact
Right.
on those upper end homes.
Sure.
But you know, we have a steady market all the way through. Again, that slight lull, but we're back in the saddle.
Good. Yeah.
Still
We are here as
very,
well.
yes.
Yeah.
People are ready.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, even in the snow, you guys had snow. We had snow.
We did.
That was a nuisance. We'll probably still have some, but and I'm not complaining. It's glorious. but you know, even in the snow, people were still, you know, emailing me. What about this house?
Yeah.
When do you think there's going to be more inventory? And I'm
Right.
just, you know, hoping and praying, and it will come up.
Yes.
It will.
Yeah. It's. I don't know about you, but this last weekend was huge around here.
Really?
There was a flood of new inventory.
Oh, nice.
Because for the last 2 weeks we haven't had any.
yes.
Right, so everything that was supposed to come on the market the week before and the week before that,
Uh-huh.
I think there were probably 15 properties that came on the market just in the core of downtown Kirkland
Yes.
for last weekend, when usually there's been like 3,
Yeah,
right? You know, and
nice.
same at my listing that we sold was in Bellevue, and the day we came on, there were like 6 listings that came on the day
Yes.
after that were kind of relevant
Yeah.
to that. So everything got kind of stacked up, which is good because the buyers are ready and
Yeah.
they're excited to go have some choices.
Well, it does. It gives them hope that
Yeah.
there will be a home for them.
Right.
And it is so nice that they are not having to, I mean, at least this point, who knows what the summer will bring, right?
Yeah,
Or the
exactly.
spring, late spring. But they don't have to waive all their contingencies.
Right.
As a buyer's agent, you're like, oh,
Right.
do you want this house? Okay,
Yes.
this is how other buyers are,
Mhm.
you know, putting offers in.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but yeah, that's nice. That gives them hope.
It does. It's going to work out for
It is.
everybody.
It really is.
Buyers
there will
and
be
sellers.
yeah, it will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm so glad you're
Yes.
here on the show with us today.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here.
Yes.
Yeah, so what else should we talk about? Should we talk about the love ball? Or shall we talk about the success principle?
Yeah, the
Is
success perspective.
Oh.
Or principle. It's whatever you want it to be.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a success perspective.
Yes. Unless you're Googling it, you
right,
won't
and
get
then
it.
you will not find it at all. So it kind of does matter.
Yeah.
Yes, successperspective.com. We'll have it on the website after the show and all the show notes and stuff. But yes,
Yeah.
it's I've talked about this briefly on the show before. So I've been selling real estate for 23 years. But part of what I do is I also mentor and coach agents. And so I have a separate website and blog that I write for agents of successperspective.com, which is something that I just love doing. It's been
Yeah.
so much fun.
Yeah.
And I have a group that I host at my house on a quarterly basis, and we all get together and work on our businesses.
Yeah.
And in fact, April and I are working together with that group right now.
Yeah, well, I think that in this industry, in our jobs, we definitely need to surround ourselves with people that we kind of aspire to, or they have the same vibe, they have your same ideals that are positive, that are kind of doing things that, you love, that fits, who you are.
Right.
And I think that I found, initially found you from, I did Ninja,
Right.
which is awesome, and it's totally my speed on everything. And
Ninja's
I still
a
use
real
it.
estate training program that a lot of agents have been through. It's great.
Amazing, and I still use it to this day. But and I think that Michael Fanning, the instructor, had said to everyone, okay, if you want to just succeed, if you want to win, you need to know Nicole Manchine.
That's
He
funny.
did.
Yeah, I know.
And so-
Nicole Mangina, she's the one to follow.
Yes, and so I think that's how I initially found you, and then just seeing your posts, and then we forged a relationship, and you were really speaking to me about things that I wanted to improve in my own business.
Wonderful! I love that.
Just because we do have very and many people have similar kind of stress-related jobs where we have a lot that riding on our shoulders. We have people's lives on our shoulders, and so just really finding a way to find balance, and also put systems in place that make you feel good at the end of the day, that you haven't left anyone neglected. And so I'm working on that.
We're all a work in progress with that, but the whole philosophy is, my business, just like yours and everybody that I work with, it's built on repeat and referral, right? So for us, it's about getting the transaction done, for the, helping the buyer buy and the seller sell, but how we get it done, right? And the relationships that we build, I think makes our business better, but it makes it more fun, right? For sure. When we can really form that connection, and then we're able to dedicate more time to our clients, because if we're getting those referrals in, and being able to do it and have a life. We travel with our kids a lot. I know you like to travel and do fun things as well. So it's nice when that all comes together.
Truly, and I think when you're really passionate about it, like we are, sometimes a lot of people, when they go to sleep, they count sheep.
Right.
I count
inspection
timelines. Like, okay, 10 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right.
So, but it's because we love what we do, and we're so passionate about it, and we also want to make sure we're doing what we need to do.
Exactly. Yes. So when we all work together, it definitely helps elevate us, for sure. Awesome. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you, April, for being on the show. Yay! Take care. We'll see you next week on the 425 show. Bye-bye.
Perfect.